Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here, and welcome back to Ihasnotomato Draws. This episode we're going to be doing a bit of fan art for the Nigh, which is Edmund McMillan and Tyler Glail's new game. I think that's how you say his last name. And my god folks, I'll tell you what, I fucking adore this game. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a really big fan of Edmund McMillan's work. I've played basically all of his games, including the ones back that were only exclusive on Newgrounds, and I have loved them for years and years and years. I'm a massive fan of all of his work, and they finally released a new game, and it's fucking amazing. And I just had to draw fan art of it. So I'm going to admit most of this video might just be gushing about the game. But so what I'm going to do is I will focus on the drawing at hand first. Now, there's a couple things you might notice right off the bat. One of these things is not like the other. If you are a Edmund McMillan fan, or at least a fan of The Binding of Isaac, you might notice something a bit out of place here, and that would be the picture of Delirium, which for those of you who don't know is that white face thing on the right. The reason I have a picture of Delirium there is because, well, other than these Binding of Isaac and the Nigh being made by the same person, have the same art style and stuff like that, I found that the thing with the Nigh is there's really not a whole lot to draw in terms of, you know, what is actually there as a source. So I decided that I'd take a few creative liberties here, so I wouldn't just be drawing like a blob, because honestly, like, the main character is literally like a blob you could draw in like 30 seconds, like less than probably. So I wanted to you know, experiment a little bit and, you know, kind of bring my own twist into this. So I decided that I would take Delirium's design and sort of incorporate a bit into Ashes, and Ashes, of course, the main character of the Nigh, who I'm drawing right here. So I'm doing a bit of the I really love the way that they draw the eyes with the huge, like, how they're really sunken in, and the you know, the dripping of the mouth sort of like stretching, looking very uncomfortable and all that. I just I seriously love this art style. It's nothing like my own art style at all, although I suppose I've taken a lot of inspiration from them over the years. I don't know. But my god, I seriously love that art style a lot. And like I said, yeah, I'm a really big fan of all of Edmund McMillan's work. Ugh, I trip over my words a lot tonight. The other thing I'm doing is I'm actually drawing a particular level from the game, which is known as The Future, and has amazing fucking music, which we'll be playing later on in this video. Because that level was kind of the thing that really tipped me off. Like, I was enjoying the game a hell of a lot, but as soon as I went to the first Future level in the Nigh, I'm like, okay, this is like a fucking this game has got me. Like, there's a feeling that I got in this world. Not world, this level, I guess, of the future. The first Future level, of course, which you're seeing, which is the picture in the bottom right corner, which I'm referring to. Which I don't know, man. It was so awesome. I wanted to capture it. So yeah, the thing is that there's not too much in terms of design that you can really fiddle around with. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the art style, but it is also rather simplistic. And as a result, this picture didn't take incredibly long to take. I think it took like an hour and 40 minutes all up. So not an insanely long amount of time. But you know what? That's fine. That's something I've got to get over. It's sort of a crutch of mine, like that I've brought upon myself, which is that I feel like in order for a work to feel, I don't know, like a proper piece, I've got to I put a certain amount of time into it, which is not true. You should never think that. A piece is done when it's done, you know. You shouldn't force it. The thing is that a lot of artists trip up on this, but it's that it is possible to overwork a piece, and there are a lot of artists who are culprits of it, where they've gotten the piece to the right point, but they don't feel like they've done enough, so they take it too far. You should never do that. So this might be a short one for me, but you know, that's absolutely fine. And I think it turned out really well. Yeah, it captured exactly what I really wanted to do. And right now I'm drawing all those faces and stuff. Now you might notice I keep turning that black layer into a bit of a grey. That's just so I can like see what I'm doing and stuff like that, and kind of diverse all the different figures from each other. Even though it's going to be a solid black colour, I like having it on a different layer, so I can sort of fiddle with it around a bit. And I got several different layers here as well, working with for the background. Now the background, I'm trying my best to kind of emulate what they've got going in the background there with the several layers, while also kind of putting my own kind of spin to it. And I'll spend a lot of time kind of working on that. And I'll occasionally also bring on my little sketch layer there for this interesting structures and stuff that I made. But yes, dude, the end is nigh though. My god. There's just so much that I can't even... it's so much like Super Meat Boy, which is like one of my favorite games. I know I haven't played it on this channel. I have played it on AIM, where I got through like the first 4 worlds when I was drunk in one like giant recording session. That was a lot of fun for me. And I've absolutely loved Super Meat Boy, and I've always wanted like more, you know. And okay, so for those of you who don't know, Edmund McMillan, he made a whole bunch of games. He made Super Meat Boy, fucking 10 out of 10 game. I love it. Then he made The Binding of Isaac. Now, don't get me wrong, The Binding of Isaac is a fantastic game, and I have sunk like a lot of hours into it. However, The Binding of Isaac is also a really, really popular game, and as a result, The Binding of Isaac got a lot of attention over the last like fucking 5 years or something. It feels like, I don't know how long it actually is, but as a result of that, he kept updating The Binding of Isaac and not making any new games. So, you know, and that's as I loved Isaac, you know, I wanted something new, and, well, we finally got something, and it's the end of Nigh, and it's fucking amazing. There's so much to love about this game, seriously. I was a bit doubtful of it at first, because it was a bit weird, because they're actually working on a few games, like The Legend of Bumbo, Ouroboros, and also this, which was like a secret project. And then they're just like, hey, this is coming out first. And after they announced it, I was like, oh, geez, it felt like not enough time, but no, sure enough, this game is still fucking amazing. One of the really amazing things is, of course, the soundtrack. And if you haven't realized so far, if you haven't played the game or anything, the soundtrack is actually like electric like versions of classical music. And I'll tell you what, there is just something so magical to me about starting up a game that I was a little bit unsure about at first, and to hear in the very first level the Dance Macabre. Oh god, oh man, it got to me. It got to me, man. I know I'm just spending this whole time gushing about this game. I said that I would do that, but yeah. And the song that you're listening to right now is Requiem, which is the music that plays in the level that I'm actually depicting right here. But like I said, the only kind of disappointing thing about it, and it's just the nature of the game and it can't really be helped, is like there's not a lot, I guess, in terms of design and stuff like that. There's very simplistic designs, but they're really, really good as well. And as a result, there wasn't too much to fiddle with and play with, but oh well. I was really quite happy with the way it all turned out. Now, one little interesting little fact here is that, so I've got, I don't know if I've done it yet, I wasn't paying attention to the screen, I don't think I have yet. But I've actually got my, yes, that's right, I've got the black layer. It's like lighter right now, I've turned down the opacity. And the black layer is also connected to the whites of the eyes and stuff on Ash. And what I realized was I actually really liked the color that it had there. So I was like, that's interesting. So I decided to actually take that color of the low down opacity and use it as a bit of extra shading. And I think it really kind of brings the piece together, because that that kind of blue tint that it has to it kind of adds to the whole atmosphere of it. Yeah, I was running a bit of drips and stuff like that. Honestly, I feel like the drips could have been a bit better, but that's just me. But I was really happy about how I got the background to look with those structures and things like that. Honestly, all it is just like a bunch of lines kind of made semi-straight, I guess you could say. Trying to make it look like girders and beams and stuff in the distance. That's what I was doing earlier. And right now I'm experimenting with some tools that I'm still kind of figuring out, to be honest. I'm not 100% familiar with Clip Studio Paint, which is the program I'm using, by the way. I was trying to get like a rain effect going on. And I think I got a fairly nice little few droplets here and there. And here I am trying to kind of improv the end is nigh into it, but I actually feel like it works pretty successfully. So you could call it somewhat of a poster, I suppose. There I also tried to kind of duplicate the layer and colour in the text, but it just... The fill bucket tool is kind of my worst enemy, and I'll admit, like, by not using the fill bucket tool, I'm adding in like a ton of time to my work, but I can't stand it because it leaves white edges everywhere, and it's so distracting to me, and I hate it. It's just, I can't describe it. It happens a lot in Photoshop, and in Photoshop you can get rid of it really easily, you know, when you cut out a picture from something, but it's got a very like thin 1 pixel thick white outline to it. That's what happens every time you use the fill bucket tool in this program, and I can't stand it. It's just such a little detail, but it really gets to me. And that's why I always color in by hand. Even though it takes longer, I feel like it's worth it to me. But anyway, yes, so that was my End is Nigh piece. I highly recommend this game if you're interested in fucking brutal fucking platformers, but games that I love nonetheless, or classical music, or Edmund Macmillan's work, or anything like that. Yes, check it out. I highly recommend this game. I fucking love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this artwork, and you know, give me any suggestions for something you might want to see in the future, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.